What's up, you guys? Welcome back to WideBody Nation. I'm making this video because I just realized my insurance policy on this Hellcat I'm sitting in right here is now over $200 a month. Yeah, that's for full coverage with pretty good coverage. I mean, it's Geico, it's robust, but man, I am not the type of person who's used to paying crazy money for insurance. So right off the bat, I need to know what everyone else is paying for insurance because I'm freaking out. You know, $200 a month for a, $100,000 car. I guess that makes some sense, but my C8 Corvette that I just got back over there, that's way less money. And I have my Geico policy screenshotted for you guys right here as far as the cost goes. So I've got a RAV4 over here. I've got my C8, and then I've got my daily driver, which is the Subaru, which is not here right now. But I'll tell you guys what I'm paying. I'm paying $202 per month and 50 cents because Geico's got to get that 50 cents out of me. Am I right, Geico? So in this video, we're obviously going to talk more about how much I'm paying for insurance and why the heck I think that is, because I think it's kind of dumb with my clean driving record and all these other discounts that I've got going. And I did call Geico as well, so I'll tell you guys what they said because they kind of told me to kick rocks. So that tells you kind of what's going on here. So this video, we're going to talk about just insurance rates in general, not just for these crazy Mopars or nothing like that. I've got other cars to compare it to on my own policy, so that helps. We're going to talk about, are insurance costs going up for everybody or certain drivers or certain cars? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what you can do to save money on insurance, which is going to be a little different for everybody, but there's some common things that, experts would recommend, in my opinion. And then just kind of where we see this going and really why all this is happening, because it is getting a bit unsustainable. Whew, it is hot in here without the AC on. I don't have the car running because I want you guys to be able to just hear me clearly because I kind of yell a lot. But anyway, I'm looking at my carbon fiber trim right now, and that reminds me that I have a bunch of Ridge wallets tagged, among other things that Ridge sells, but I've noticed that using a money clip has been more convenient for me because my wallet is like 15 years old. It's my high school wallet, and you guys just always put extra stuff in your wallet, and then it becomes huge. I don't carry mine in my back pocket anymore because I already have back problems. I usually carry it in a cargo pocket, or I just carry it like in my hand or leave it in my car, which probably is not a great idea. But anyway, if you guys use the links that I have, like kind of like on the video, in the video, or in the description, it does give me a good little kickback, but I do stand behind that product. And, I feel like I don't recommend a ton of products to you guys. I really only recommend products I use, TrackHawk GPS, Destroyer1320.com. So the RFID blocking technology kind of fits in that like theft prevention, theft protection space, which means that they can't like steal your credit card info by just hitting you with the scanner. So I'll do a video straight on that, but I appreciate if you guys support, and if you don't, that's fine too. I'm sure you're busy down in the comments section telling me either that I'm overpaying or that I'm getting a good deal or whatever you guys pay for insurance, because I do want to know what you guys pay for insurance. Ooh, I am sweating right now. So again, a little over $200 a month for this car. For my 2020 C8 Corvette, same coverage. Both cars are $1,000 deductible, comprehensive, collision, uninsured motorist, medical bills for other people, but not for me because I have Army health care, so that's covered. Basically, I have every car in my fleet insured the same way. Each car is basically $1,000 deductible. And I'll tell you why I do that in a second, because maybe you guys think that that's too high, too low, I don't know. But the Corvette, I am only paying, only paying, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm only paying $104 a month on the Chevy Corvette, whereas I'm paying double that for this Hellcat, which is basically the same price car. I mean, you could argue that the 2020 Corvette is probably worth less now. It's probably worth 50, 60, 70 grand, probably 60 something without all the mods. Obviously mods are for value, but you know, this car I guess is worth more, but it's not worth double. And but obviously Corvettes aren't stolen. Like that stolen. That exact car over there, and here I'll show you guys real quick. C8 is back. That exact car over there was the car sitting next to my very similar spec Hellcat Red Eye when my Red Eye was stolen. So of course it costs less to insure than this theft magnet I'm sitting in right now, because the thieves walked up and walked past it like that car was nothing, like it wasn't even there, and they walked straight up to this car, broke that rear window, didn't set the alarm off, they jumped right on in, popped the trunk, disconnected the battery. I think that has something to do with the Uconnect and the nav, and then they went ahead and pulled up on that Destroyer 1320 neutral strap. Obviously I didn't have the product at that time, but you know, luckily Destroyer 1320 created a product to protect that, because that neutral strap, they can steal your car in less than a minute and they are gone, and that is when they usually reprogram the keys. I really haven't seen the same amount of theft problems even close with the C8s. Camaro's a little bit, Mustang's a little bit, but with these cars, obviously they are crazy. And I'm getting the straight up sauna treatment in here right now. The Corvette is basically the same to insure for me as my wife's RAV4 right here. My wife's RAV4 is, how you say, it's less than, because it's $480 for 6 months. So 48 divided by 6, public math, go, you know, that is like 90, less than 90, that's like 80 bucks a month. I pay 80 bucks a month for RAV4 insurance. Granted, that car is probably a $30,000 car, whereas this is a $90,000 car. And then on my 2022 Subaru WRX, that is a pretty, it's like $99 a month. So my 2022 WRX is 99 bucks a month, and the Corvette is 104 bucks a month. I mean, that, I'm sure they have algorithms and it makes sense to Geico, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm getting a screaming deal on those cars, and then this car I'm paying what I should. I mean, you could argue that, but I called Geico and I told them, I was like, hey, what is going on with my Hellcat specifically? Like, why do you guys feel the need to charge me 200 bucks a month? The only thing on my driving record, as far as anything to do with my insurance policy, is that my 2021 Red Eye got stolen 2 months after I bought it in Dallas, where that is a huge problem. And so they did pay out on that car. Was it my fault? No, but obviously they got to recoup their money somehow. And I think that's a good reason why you see the insurance on these cars so high. People get tickets with these cars. People run from police with these cars. These cars can get repoed more often than a normal, you know, like a RAV4 or whatever, just statistically speaking. And they get stolen like no other car other than maybe like Kias or Hyundais, but Kias or Hyundais are a fifth of the price of this thing, and I think insurance kind of knows that. So am I surprised that my Hellcat insurance is this high? No, but I'll tell you what they said. So I called them, I made sure I had every available discount, you know, multi-policy discount, multi-vehicle discount. My wife has multiple bachelor's degrees. I have a master's and a bachelor's, which actually counts towards lowering your insurance rate, if you guys know that. I know it might not be fair, but like, again, I'm just trying to get the lowest price here, so I'll take what I can get. I'm not saying you guys need to go get a degree or not. It doesn't matter to me. A lot of you guys probably don't have degrees and make more money than I do, so props to you. I brought, and so after they basically told me the only discount that I haven't used on this car is just paying my policy for the entire 6 months up front, which only saved, that discount's only 10%. If they had told me like 20 or 25%, I would have been like, oh, that's actually like a pretty good deal. But like, I'm not going to give them thousands of dollars ahead of time just to cover these cars, which you guys know how shiesty insurance companies are now. Like, they are kind of sus about paying out now too. I guarantee you, if I got in an accident or if this car got stolen, which this car is basically impossible to steal with my KillSwitch, I have like 5 different GPS trackers, from all the way from AirTag to CarLock to Mopar EVTS to the nav system in here I just have a TrackHawk GPS KillSwitch. That's a KillSwitch and a GPS. And I told them all that too. I listed off every single theft deterrent thing I had. I told them I work on a military base. I parked the car at home, you know, in the garage and stuff like that. So like, they just said, hey, all we can do is the 10% off, unless they wanted to let me do the whole like phone tracking thing, where you opt in, you download like this super invasive tracking app, and then it monitors your driving 24/7, 365. So unless you didn't have your phone with you, they're monitoring your driving all the time. And you guys know, I drive pretty chill. I don't really post a lot of videos of crazy stuff on the streets. You know, usually keep everything on the track, but who's to say they wouldn't raise my insurance rates for going down to Nashville Super Speedway and doing a drift course or a road course, or going to Bowling Green and getting this car up to 140, 150, 160 on the track. Like, I just, those apps, I'm sure most of you guys are like that. Most people are like, nah, I'm good. And, you know, some cars just come with it off the rip now, which kind of sucks. But so with that being said, my experience with the Hellcat and with insurance is not unique. I mean, insurance rates have gone up, car insurance especially, has gone up drastically over the last 2 to 5 years with inflation, but also just with everything associated with the pandemic. So there was a huge rise in auto theft. And I know I already talked about auto theft, but like just in general, auto theft in general has gone way up since the start of the pandemic, really. And also, you guys know inflation is just baked in, and the economy's getting worse. So now insurance companies, you know, say they insured for every 100 people they insured, maybe only one person used to get their car repoed, and only one person used to get into an accident, and only one person had some sort of like weird lemon issue that was going to tie up a bunch of money in lawyers. Nowadays, with the economy being worse and with cars being older, as far as like, this isn't a brand new car anymore, so you could say it might cost more to insure. I don't know. Repos are double, triple, quadrupling right now. People are faking insurance claims now. They're doing some really shisty stuff to just get out of their car before it gets repoed maybe. And then also people are getting into accidents because everyone's back on the road now. Flights are really expensive, so more and more people are driving. Certain cities, like, maybe this is why mine has gone up too. You know, I live near Nashville. Nashville has exploded. Tennessee has exploded since about 2017, 2019. And then the pandemic really just juiced that up. So, you know, usually insurance near cities and in cities is more expensive. I know a lot of you New York and Los Angeles guys that watch the channel, you guys have commented on my videos in the past I've done on insurance, and you guys were telling me that your insurance is crazy, and it's not even negotiable either. Like, a lot of states have mandatory minimums, a lot of states have maximum deductibles, especially if you guys have a loan or a lien on the vehicle, especially if it's leased too. So basically, there's really nothing in the market right now that's helping us as consumers. Even if you have a great driving record, there's nothing helping us lower insurance costs. You know, the economy is very shaky. Inflation is now already baked into the economy, so everyone's just used to paying higher prices. And so there's really just no reason why insurance companies would have to lower their prices other than you guys just shopping your insurance around. I mean, I have Geico right now, but I could shop my policy around. I doubt any companies would beat it. I used to have USAA, had some bad experiences with them, so I switched. I shopped it around and ended up switching to Geico because they're pretty military friendly, seemingly. You know, they've done a good job so far, other than my premiums just starting to kind of creep up. But I mean, you guys know you can change insurance. It is kind of a pain in the butt. You got to download new apps. You got to give them all your info. The more cars you have, the more of a pain in the butt it is. So maybe I'll do some shopping around and let you guys know if I find any better rates. I'm worried that even if I could find an insurance company that might insure this car for a little less money, I probably wouldn't get as good of a deal on my other cars. So I think what I pay for insurance right now, about $100 a month on every car that I've got, other than this one, which is double that, so $200 a month. I pay just under $500 a month for insurance, for full coverage. My deductible is at $1,000 per car. I'll talk about that too. $1,000 per car deductible. I grew up in a family where most of our cars, the deductible was $500. But again, that was 10, 20 years ago where everything costed less too. So I would argue that people who maybe in 2000 had a $500 deductible, $1,000 deductible is basically the same thing today because of inflation. I mean, I think over that time, the dollar has probably devalued almost half, if we're being honest. That's without me looking at without Googling that. But the reason why I have found that $1,000 deductible is good for me between cost saving. Obviously, the lower your deductible, the more your insurance is going to cost. I found that I wouldn't say it makes me drive safer because I just try to drive safe all the time. But I found that the $1,000 deductible is a good threshold of whether or not you should file a claim. Because, I told you guys, I only have one claim on my policy in the past, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is, that has to do with me. And, brain fart. I've only got one claim, but I think my policy is going up a bit because of that, among all the other reasons we talked about. So as far as filing claims, it is pretty well known that filing claims, even if it wasn't your fault, I mean, Hemi Muscle just talked about this, but even if it wasn't your fault, you're at risk of them upping your claims. And a lot of times the people on the phone that you can talk to have nothing to do with it. They're just customer service representatives. Maybe they're a manager of customer service representatives. And they don't really have anything they can do because everything is managed by the back end of these massive companies. They've got algorithms, they've got engineers, they've got mathematicians, they've got statistics junkies, they've got actuaries, they've got all these big brains that are calculating how much you need to pay to insure your car so that the insurance company stays in business and makes money for themselves, for their shareholders, if they have shareholders, and can still provide the product too. So stay in business, right? So to me, a lower deductible, $500, I mean, it's real easy to do $500 worth of damage. I have over the past, I'd say 5 years, there was, sometimes you get in a little fender bender, either with your own car, just like in your driveway, like my porch right here has like little poles. I've never hit one, but like, say I did just ding a pole myself, or ding a rock wall or something like that, or really scrape a curb with my front spoiler or something, that's going to cost a few $100, if not maybe $1,000. And so, in my opinion, that's something that you should just fix on your own, because if you're going to pay $1,000 deductible anyway, why not just fix it yourself if it's going to cost $1,000 or less? Now, obviously, if your car gets hit or damaged or hailed on or whatever, and it costs thousands or tens of thousands or more, then you're going to use your policy and just hope that you're not at fault. I mean, I should get a dash cam because I don't have a dash cam yet, but I just think that $1,000 deductible is more appropriate because it's less likely to file a claim. And then when you do file a claim, if the claim is big enough, that $1,000 is not, if they total your car, like when they totaled my car out, they were sending me a check for the whole car. So if I had a $500 versus $1,000 deductible, who cares? $0 deductible policies are crazy expensive, but I like to save a little bit of money every month. It probably saves me maybe $100 a month on the whole policy. So maybe $20, $25 a car. That's just beer math off the top of my head. But, there's not a ton you guys can do other than just the little tips and tricks, making sure you qualify for all the discounts. Apparently I got a discount because I'm married too, because apparently that's a lower risk factor. I hope they don't have any racial policies. I would be shocked if they do, but that would be insane. But I wouldn't put it past these companies because there's some shady people. They'd be like, oh, well, it's just a statistic. So hopefully that's not a thing. But your age and your gender does have to do with it. Like my wife is the same age as me, but she is cheaper to insure. Now she is on my policy too. So we do have 2 drivers on the policy. I guess I forgot to mention that. at the beginning, but I did tell you I was married. So, you know, maybe if I wasn't married, I mean, I'd have less cars, but like if I had no one else on the policy, maybe it would cost me a tiny bit less because I would not be insuring 2 drivers, because that's double the amount of people on the road, right? But let me know what you guys are paying for insurance in the comments below. I know these videos can be a bit rabbit holey, but that's where we try to get you guys the actual like tactics to lower it, you know, discounts, shopping it around, higher deductibles within reason. Don't raise your deductible higher than you're supposed to, whether it's your state or your bank or whatever other people that we're beholden to, because you don't want to lose your car just because you didn't know that you couldn't have a $1,000 or $2,000 deductible or whatever. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. This car is protected with TrackHawk GPS KillSwitch. This car is protected with Destroyer1320.com. If you guys need to put a bulk order into Destroyer1320.com, go ahead and give Eric a call or email, and he can get you our bulk order pricing. Usually it's about 10 or more that we do that. We do have discount codes out there. You know, my boy Hemi Muscle has his discount code. OC Motivator has his. There's other guys that have discount codes, so use their discount codes. You don't have to use mine. We're just trying to protect as many Mopars as possible. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys for the next video.